North central Wyoming. Some dissipating and pop up snow showers and showers in the vicinity. Casper as well. Cheyenne yet to get some accumulation of rain or snow or sleet. Freezing rain. High up in the mountains, plenty of snow or ice and freezing rain, but down in the valleys, plenty of rain. Though on the northwestern side of Idaho, there's plenty of rain, especially in Lewiston. A lot of rain is there. A flood watch is in effect within the next 24 hours, all across the northern part of Idaho, but downstate. In the southern part of the state, Boise on the north side, they're beginning rain, mostly dry on the south side of the state capital. Rexburg, getting some snow showers and showers on the east and northern sides of the city or town, as well as some dry conditions. Well, just a little bit north of Soda Springs in the past 3 hours. Well, other than that, nothing much in Twin Falls or Pocatello or Mountain Home. Let's go to Colorado, where there isn't much happening, especially Utah, Nevada, the desert Southwest, California, nothing much, but although we do have a special weather statement in Orange County and as well as LA County, all that has to do with the no burn ban on burning materials like wood, in which it tends to create issues for those with underlying conditions such as respiratory diseases and other diseases that make things worse for individuals. So for folks who are there, it is advised that they do not. Now, why is that? Because we'll get to that in just a few minutes, where there like in conditions like this, it would have to be lack of winds and more pollutants being sent into the atmosphere, but at a low-lying altitude, in which all the pollutants gets trapped in valleys, which tends to create problems for folks with underlying conditions. If it were windy in the air that is not stagnant, then this would not happen. And there's also another warning located in Avalon, in an island just offshore, southwest of Long Beach. Elsewhere throughout the Golden State, not much, but in the Pacific Northwest, it's a different story, as you can see. There's a lot of atmospheric moisture moving into the Pacific Northwest on the coastal side, from Bellingham to Seattle to Olympia, then towards Portland, Salem, Eugene, right along the I-5 corridor, just located north of Cottage Grove, Oregon, points north. There's plenty of rains to go around, but once all that rain heads east, then it transitions into snow or freezing rain or sleet. A few spots of freezing rain are there, but either way, there's just plenty of flood watches, and as well as a special weather statement. But what does that have to do with what's going on? Well, there's a lot of rain. A lot of rain, folks. A lot of rain. And even Olympic National Park, the mountains there, even that is not cold enough. There's still plenty of rains to be poured all across Puget Sound and Vancouver Island. Vancouver getting a lot of rain. On the leeward side of the Cascades, there's plenty of rain there. Maybe a few places with some snow to the northeastern part of both Washington State and Oregon. But though in the past 3 hours, though. Now let's transition to here. Well, then, looks like we got ourselves light and variable winds throughout the interior parts of the Northeast, but Maine has westerly winds blowing up to 20 miles an hour. Winds blowing towards the ocean, towards the south, from coastal Maine all the way down to the Jersey Shore, and especially in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. But from the New York City area all the way to Maine, offshore winds blowing up to about 25 miles an hour, 30 out off the Jersey Shore, Delmarva Peninsula, and the Outer Banks of North Carolina, up to 40 miles an hour there. But in the interior parts, you do have Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, and the rest of the mid-Atlantic. Winds are moving generally to the south. They're blowing up to 20 miles per hour. In the southeast, plenty of northerly winds, moving up to 20 miles an hour. But in the southern tip of Florida, they changed to the east, as you can see, folks. Plenty of light and variable winds from the lower Ohio Valley all the way towards Dallas, Fort Worth, Metroplex. But for folks in Louisiana and the Houston area, winds are moving to the south, moving up to 15 miles an hour. In Texas and Oklahoma, winds are generally moving to the north, moving up to 25 miles an hour, but in the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, they're light and variable, plus western Texas. In the Midwest, for folks north of the Ohio River, there are winds that are moving to the west, then they shift to the north once it enters Illinois and Michigan. Then in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and even Missouri, winds are moving to the north, blowing up to 20 to 30 miles an hour there. But just over the Great Lakes hold on a minute. Yeah, I thought for sure that was going to be copyright music. But anyway, in the eastern side of Lake Superior, northern side of Lake Michigan, winds are up to 40 miles an hour. In the Great Plains, winds there are westerly. Sorry about that. Winds are westerly winds blowing at up to 30 miles an hour. Then they shift to the north. Yeah, I did say up to 30 if I haven't said anything. In the northwestern part of the country, east of the Rockies, winds moving to the east. Some places up to 40 miles an hour, other places up to 20, 25. Idaho, winds moving generally to the north, as well as western Montana. In some places moving up to 30 miles an hour, otherwise it's going to be light. In the Pacific Northwest, on either side of the Cascades, winds are coming from the southwest, blowing up to 30 miles an hour. In some places a little higher, especially on the eastern side of the Cascades. In places like the Great Basin. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm back. Okay, so in the Great Basin states, light and variable winds, as well as Sierra Nevadas, much California, and parts of the desert southwest. Eastern Colorado, winds are moving to the east at up to 25 miles an hour. And New Mexico, light and variable winds, but some places may have winds that are a little stronger, blowing up to 25, especially Arizona, but moving to the south, though. Southern California as well. But let's take a look in the Los Angeles area, and it looks like as though there are plenty of light and variable winds. Yep, which does explain that there are special weather statements in regards to pollution there, which is why they put a no burn wood ban. In the Pacific Northwest. Well, I already talked about the Pacific Northwest. Let's talk temperatures. Let's start off in northern New England. Temperatures range from 0 degrees, from the lower single digits in negative territory to about 10 degrees in Portland. To the south, in southern New England, temperatures range from temperatures are in the teens. In upstate New York, temperatures range from -1 in Utica to 16 in Rochester. In the New York City area, though, winds temperatures all across the tri-state area, they are in the teens to the mid-20s, all because of some northerly winds. That tends to make temperatures a lot colder with all those wind chill. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm back. Pennsylvania has temperatures that range from the low teens to the mid-20s. The Mid-Atlantic temperatures are in the 20s to mid-30s. The Outer Banks, well, not really. You have the Outer Banks, their temperatures are in the 40s to low 50s. The rest of the Carolinas, temperatures are in the low 30s to low 40s. 30s in Tennessee. Low 40s to low 50s in Georgia. Alabama, Mississippi, temperatures range from the upper 30s to low 50s. 30s in Arkansas. 40s to mid-50s in Louisiana. In northern Florida, temperatures are in the 50s. Central Florida, 60s. Southern Florida, 70s. Yeah, it's quite a dramatic... it's quite dramatic, in terms of the temperature gradient from Jacksonville to Miami. It's something that I'll never get tired of talking about, In Oklahoma, temperatures range from the mid-30s to mid-40s. In the northern parts of Texas, temperatures are in they're in the low 40s to mid-50s. The western part of Texas, they're in the 50s. Southern part of Texas, they're in the 50s to low 60s. Okay, let's take a look. In the Ohio Valley, temperatures all across the region, they range from the mid-teens to low 30s. Michigan, temperatures are in the teens to low 20s, as well as Wisconsin. Minnesota, temperatures are also in the teens to low 20s. Temperatures range in the northern eastern parts of North Dakota. They are in the teens. Throughout the rest of the state, they're in the 20s to mid-30s. South Dakota, the southeastern part of the state, they're in the 20s. The rest of the state, they're in the 30s to low 40s. Going down the Missouri River. Iowa, temperatures range from the mid-teens to low 30s. Nebraska, temperatures are in the 30s. Missouri, temperatures range from the mid-20s to mid-30s. Kansas, temperatures are in the 30s to mid-40s. I mean, might need to dissect this just a little bit. So basically, all that warm air is going to be moving into the Mississippi Valley. Given that on the eastern side, there's plenty of cold air that's still there, but some southerly winds are slowly moving all that warmth up to the north, but it's not moving fast enough. Not the winds, but I mean the changes in temperatures. Trying to get it warm. But since it's turning into evening, well, that's not going to be easy though. Okay, so now let's take a look in places like Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. Temperatures all across the state of Montana, they range from the mid-30s to low 40s. Northern half of Idaho, they're in the 30s. Southern half, they're in the 40s.